how beautiful of a person I was really cool. And it still is really cool. I still find joy in like taking a step back and being like, wow, everything that you've been through has created exactly who you are today. Hello. Welcome to my very first podcast episode. This is Align Wellness Podcast, and I am your host, Nicolette Sikilianos. I am a behavior change specialist, a personal trainer, and a nutritionist who focuses on wellness and creating well-rounded individuals, be it through fitness, nutrition, mental health, meditation and mindfulness, body awareness, self-love, healing, and so much more. I could go on and on about all of my passions, but my number one passion is helping people. And I wanted to start this podcast because I feel that I can help people and I can bring others on to help people, people who have helped me and people who I think can help you. But my main purpose for this episode is to give you a background on who I am, on my healing journey, and what got me started on this journey, and where I started, where I am today, and where I hope to go. So I moved to Los Angeles in 2014 as a dancer to pursue my dance career. And it was the best thing I could have ever done. For those of you who have never moved away from home, I highly recommend it. It was life-changing, and I learned so much about myself, even just in the first month of being alone. But something that it taught me was to really value my solitude. I really started to value my solitude. And then in that solitude, I was able to discover who I was as a person without influence of anybody else. And that felt so great. But yeah, heading back to my story, I moved here in 2014 as a dancer. Shortly after moving here, I was booking jobs and I was touring and I was doing all the things that I came here to do, which was absolutely amazing. But I got, lost into the toxicity of the industry, and I was connected with some people who were not good for my mental health and who created this sense of insecurity in me and created this voice inside of my head who didn't value myself. And then you take that back to, I was a dancer my entire life. I was auditioning at the age of 6 years old, being told no, being judged for my body, and the toll, the trauma that has on somebody before I even knew it was trauma. Like, at that age, you have no idea. That's what you do, and that's all you know. And to be in an industry like that at such a young age and then for so many years, I think that it really affected how I valued myself as a person. And then, of course, moving here and I'm booking these jobs, and that is how I saw value in myself, is through jobs, is through booking different things, is through other people, other things. And I didn't realize that there was value within myself. However, it took the pandemic happening. At the time, I lived completely alone, and it took that to start me on my healing journey. At that time that the world shut down, I was in a super toxic on again, off again relationship. Um, and I was surrounding myself in this toxic industry. And so for me to then have to sit at home, I was 100% by myself, um, and address all of the things that I knew needed to be addressed within myself. But when the world was going, I just kept myself busy with distractions, with job after job, or, going place to place. And I never really sat with myself to address those things. And I had so much anxiety. I was one of the most anxious people. And I didn't know where to start. But I knew that I needed to dive into myself and understand who I was as a person and understand why I was the way that I was, why I didn't value myself, why I had these insecurities. And I would say the two biggest things that helped me in my healing journey were journaling and sound healing, which I discovered again through the pandemic because of Janae Aiko. A lot of her music has sound healing properties. And I started to dive further into that. I loved her music, but then I started to take it a step further and I started to listen to only frequencies. And this was my form of meditation. This was the only way that I found myself to be able to meditate, was through these frequencies. I was able to sit and quiet my mind and connect with myself and find that alignment within myself. And once I was able to find that alignment, I then was able to properly articulate the things that I was feeling and the things that I needed to work on and address within myself. And that's where the journaling came in. And that's where I was able to be really honest with myself about my insecurities, my traumas, the things that I had been through, and help myself to understand why I was seeking value in anything and everything but myself. So that was huge in my healing journey, and I was alone. It was hard, but it was so beneficial. And to be able to work through everything that I had been through, or a majority of things. I don't think that I've even worked through a lot of things in my lifetime, but to be able to work through those really prominent things and get to know myself and understand how beautiful of a person I was really cool. And it still is really cool. I still find joy in like taking a step back and being like, wow, everything that you've been through has created exactly who you are today. Every bad thing that you've been through, every trauma, every bad relationship, every bad job, anything and everything that you've been through has literally created who you are today. So fast forward, I now own Align Wellness, which is a wellness company that focuses on all around wellness. I focus on not only personal training, but I focus on nutrition, behavior change, mental health, meditation and mindfulness, healing, body awareness. I focus on all of it. And the reason that this came to be was because I started my journey as a personal trainer about 3 years ago. And before that, I was in group fitness. And I loved helping people. I loved helping people achieve their goals and their wants and needs. And then it got to a point where living in Los Angeles, everybody and anybody can have a ideal body, whatever that may be to them. whether they pay for it or whether they work for it. And it came to my realization that just because you have your ideal body and you look a certain way, that doesn't mean that you're a good person on the inside. And it took a lot of having to understand people and having to cut people off and realize that these people don't have my best interest at heart, to realize that. And to realize that I don't want to be one of those people who only worries about themselves and would do anything and everything to one up somebody else. Um, I'm not in competition with anybody but myself. And there is so much room for everybody in this world to win. And everybody is going to do something differently. I can have the exact same idea as the person next to me, and the way that that idea is executed or brought to life is going to be completely different. And there's so much beauty in that. And that is something that I want everybody to see. We are all just individuals, and we all can have a healthy mind, a healthy lifestyle, and support each other and have community in that always. So Align Wellness was created with that in mind. There was a day I randomly decided that I wanted to host a wellness retreat. It was a thought that popped into my head, and I was going to do it. So I started brainstorming. I was terrified. I didn't know what I was doing. I just was kind of winging it. And my first wellness retreat happened in January of 2022, and it was amazing. My goal was to bring people the things that helped me on my healing journey and helped to embark on my healing journey. And that was sound healing. That was moving my body. That was journaling and taking care of myself mentally, physically, nutritionally. So my first wellness retreat incorporated yoga as the movement. It incorporated a sound bath for sound healing, which was so important to me. And it incorporated open discussions on habit change and changing your lifestyle. That was led by me. But it was a community effort because everybody who showed up was interested and intrigued on how they could better themselves. And the first retreat, I was on cloud nine. Like, ask anybody who was in my life at the time, and I was on cloud nine. It was the best. I couldn't have expected for it to go any better. And I think as someone who's always had this entrepreneurial mindset, I have tried many of things, and sometimes I try it one time and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's not for me. And with the retreat, I didn't really know what to expect. I hosted this retreat and I, to be honest, wasn't quite sure if there would be another one. And when it was successful, I had people at the end of the retreat asking me, so when's the next one? And I'm like, I don't know, because I didn't know how far it would go and I didn't know how far I would take it. Fast forward, a month later, I unexpectedly lost my dad, and it was hard. But it wasn't as hard in some aspects as I anticipated it to be, and I truly attribute that to my spirituality and the connection that I feel that I had with myself and with the universe at the time. And it was something that just solidified and confirmed my purpose and that I was on the right path in helping people to create better lives for themselves and live a life that they are truly happy living, and not just live for the day to day, but live for every experience in between. And I think that, older generations older than mine, are so accustomed to, you graduate high school and then you go to college and attain a skill, and then you use that skill for the rest of your life to make money. And that's how you support your family, and that's just what you do. And you're supposed to live in that skill for the rest of your life. And I was fortunate to learn very early on that those skills don't always, that it's not always in alignment with your passion. And that's okay, but you need to have things that you are passionate about. And when you find that center point of your passion and being able to make money through your passion and being able to help people through your passion, it's such a sweet spot in life. And that is where you find your true alignment. And I believe that my purpose is to help others in their journey, whether it's in their journey to mental health, whether it's in their journey to physical health, whether it's their journey to self-love. I want to create those well-rounded people, and that is the most fulfilling thing to me. So that's where Align Wellness came from and started. And that's where my wellness retreat started. And I decided that a podcast is the perfect way for me to share all that I'm working on within myself, within my community, and helping others. And I think it's a great way to continue to build that community and have people on here that have helped me and that I believe can help you on your journey to overall wellness and stepping into the best, most authentic, most harmonized version of yourself. And that's why I'm here today. So, Align Wellness focuses on mental health. It focuses on physical health. It focuses on nutritional health, mindfulness, self-love, and the journey to that. And I have now 3 wellness journals that are out. The third one is coming out very soon. And they are designed to help you become a better version of yourself and be the person that you want to be, the person that you wish you could be, because everybody can be that person. You just have to be willing to put in the work for yourself, and you have to love yourself enough to be willing to step away from things that are no longer good for you, to step away from people that are no longer good for you, and to focus on the things that are truly important to you. And if other people don't see that, then that's okay. That doesn't mean that they can't be in your life. That doesn't mean that you have to leave them behind. It just means that they're on a different path than you. And I want to help people to understand that their path is the most important path that they can take. And at the end of the day, it's you and only you. And to be able to love yourself without anything, without that dream job, without that dream lover or family, without that dream car, without the dream house, to be in solitude with yourself anywhere at any phase in your life and be able to find that self-love is what's most important. And that's what I'm here to help people to do. So thank you so much for tuning in to my very first podcast episode with Align Wellness. My name is Nicolette, and stay tuned for more because I have so much to offer you and so much to talk about and share. And this is just the beginning.